Karen Dubs with FlexibleWarrior.com, and I got a request to do some arm workouts for spring, summer, getting ready for, tank top season, sun's out, guns out, that whole thing. So a lot of times I don't lift a lot of weights, I'll be honest with you. A lot of it has to do with just consistency with diet. I know no one wants to hear that, right? That's just the truth. And also just body weight exercises, yoga, obviously, is holding your body weight. So even though you're not technically lifting weights, which we're going to incorporate a little bit today, actual weightlifting, light weights, but with yoga, you're maintaining your body weight throughout. So you are strength training, you are lifting weight. It's just not a physical weight. But today, if you can grab a set of 5s, 8s, 10s, something like that, you'll be good to go. So that's all you really need, yoga mat and a couple light weights. All right, so what I want you to do is get yourself into child's pose. We'll just do a little bit of warm up. This will take like 10 minutes as usual. And of course you can repeat it a few times if you want to do a couple sets. All right, so settle yourself back into child's pose and take a couple deep breaths in and out through your nose, just to ground yourself into the present moment. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and shift yourself onto your hands and knees with your knees bent, modifying on a modified plank. Go ahead and lower down and just notice how the elbows are really tight to the rib cage on the way down. That's what you want to shoot for. Slide your shoulder blades back and down. You're going to inhale, open up. We're going to do some chest openers with this as well. So push-ups are awesome. They're great, but they tend to kind of hunch the posture forward and close the chest out. So you just want to make sure that you're opening the posture as well as strengthening the chest. On your exhale, go ahead and push back to child's pose. And let's do that 2 more times a little faster. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, make sure you're pulling your elbows in tight. Slide your shoulders back and down. Lift and open your chest. Release out of it and push back into child's pose. And let's go one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, opens the posture, extends the spine. And exhale, push back into child's pose. So we're going to do that exact same thing, except come up to straight legs. So if this is all new for you, you can just keep modifying with the bent knee version. Otherwise, you're going to squeeze your knees straight. Make sure you're engaging your core. This time, you're going to come into a half push-up. That's chaturanga. And again, you can modify by bending your knees if it's too tough for you to maintain good posture. You're going to inhale, open up your chest, nice and open. And then exhale, curl your toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, elbows tight to the ribs, half push-up. Cobra or upward facing dog. That feels okay on your back. And then curl your toes, hips up, downward facing dog. One more time, just like that. Inhale. Make sure you're stopping halfway, so elbows right in line with the shoulders. Upward facing dog or cobra. Big stretch to the chest, and then downward facing dog. Now you might already feel a little bit more warmth in the chest and shoulders. Go ahead and release the knees down to the mat. We're going to do a modified version of the push-up, so keeping the knees bent. You're going to bend your elbows, chest and chin down. Push back, come into child's pose. Do it again. Inhale, chest and chin. Exhale, push. So the inhale shifts you forward and down to the mat. Notice chest and chin come down. So the hips stay up the whole time. And we're going to do 3 more just like that. Modified yogi push-ups. Getting the chest, shoulders, triceps. A little bit of a workout here. Let's do 1 more time just like that. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, push back. So go ahead and flip yourself, grab your weights and flip yourself over onto your back. And again, just 5, 6, 8, or 10-pound weights at the very most. You want to bring your knees up from the floor so your back is pulling in, your spine is neutral, your weights are right over your shoulders. You're going to bend your elbows and straighten your right leg so the weights are right by your ears. Exhale, extend your arms straight. Inhale, left leg straight. Exhale. So we're incorporating a little bit of ab work with our arm work, and this is a tricep exercise. So the triceps got warm while we were doing our push-ups. So you should feel this pretty quickly. Inhale.
Exhale, make sure you're not holding your breath, so keep breathing in and out. In and out. You're starting to feel it. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and put your weights down. Make your way back to child's pose. So that was chest and triceps that we just did there. Sit on back. We're going to do back and biceps next. So shifting your weight forward, I want you to go ahead and step your right foot forward and grab onto your weights. So your weights are going to be on either side of your right foot, okay? You're going to curl your left toes under, squeeze your left leg straight, so we're in a lunge position, and then all you're going to do is a row. So you're going to pull the elbows tight to the ribs, squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep squeezing the back knee straight, and then lower down. Exhale, push or pull. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull. Elbows tight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. So this is a back exercise, strengthening the muscles right between the shoulder blades. Let's do 4 more. 3. Okay, keep that flow going. Keep that back knee squeezing straight. This is your last one. And lower down. Now you can, if you have weights like mine and they're steady, you can step back to plank from there with your hands on the weights. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Let me step back a little bit. If that doesn't work for you, then just have your hands flat on the mat and move the weights to the side. Okay, otherwise you can do your chaturanga from there. Upward facing dog with your hands on the weights gives you a little bit more space for your back. And then as long as your weights are, you know, really solid on the mat, you can use them in downward facing dog as well, which actually gets your heels a little closer to the mat. You get a nice stretch. Okay, release your knees, opposite foot steps forward. Same thing, other leg. So you're gonna curl your back toes under, squeeze your back knee straight. Weights are on either side of your front foot. And then row. Pull the elbows tight and lower down. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Okay, so we're just incorporating some weights with our little mini yoga practice here today. And even though we're just going to do 1 series through each of these, chest, triceps, back, and biceps, you probably will feel it. And what you can do if you want to do 2 or 3 sets of it then is just repeat it on your own, right? It's not difficult. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, squeeze the elbows really tight. And 1 more time. Good. Again, you can have your hands flat on the floor and just move the weights out of the way. If your weights are really solid and you feel really in control with it, go ahead and step back to plank. Don't forget to engage your core here. Elbows tight, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, and a good stretch through the chest. And curl the toes, downward facing dog. And release the knees to the mat. So from here, I want you to come up into a high kneeling position, or just stay here in hero's pose. So in hero's pose, your hips are sitting back onto your heels, just like this. Sometimes that's uncomfortable for some people on the tops of their feet. You're going to do your bicep curls here. Okay, what I want you to be aware of is pulling the belly in and dropping the tailbone, not hyperextending the spine. Now, if that's uncomfortable for you with your knees flexed like this, you can come up into a full high kneeling position. Again, just be aware of the low back. Okay, so pull the belly in and drop the tailbone. So either way, sitting or high kneeling, we're going to curl the palms up to the shoulders and lower down. So in this case, the exhales here as you're pulling the weights to the shoulders, and the inhales as you straighten your arms. Okay, obviously this is biceps. I typically don't do a lot of bicep curls with weights because I feel like I'm using my biceps and shoulders all the time, you know? So, but you might not, that might not be the case for you, so you might feel like you want to get a little bit of extra strength training in, okay? It's all good either way. So again, just light weights. You don't technically need weights at all. You can just practice your yoga poses and know that you're getting lots of upper body strength. But these added weight exercises are nice, especially spring and summer. Okay, let's do a couple more. Get that nice strength through the front of the arm. And don't forget that diet has a huge effect whether or not you'll be able to see your muscles. Okay, so the layer of fat above the muscle, that kind of hides it. So, consider, playing around, adding some green smoothies. That's what I do. Makes a big difference. Okay, let's do one more time. Make sure you keep that belly pulling in. Don't forget about that, don't let that go. All right, nice job. Let's go do a quick chest stretch. So go ahead and step forward with one foot. Keep the back knee on the mat. We're gonna lift up, stretch your hands up to the sky, and then I want you to imagine you've got a big rubber band and you're pulling it back and down so your elbows are drawing back towards your hips. And then what this do is stretch the whole front of the chest and shoulders, really open up the posture and lean back a little bit. Don't hyperextend the low back, so keep the belly pulling in. Take one more breath. And then hands on either side of your front foot. You can curl your back toes under, squeeze your back knees straight, and just step into downward facing dog. And shift forward to plank. You're gonna lower all the way down to your stomach, either with straight legs or bent knees. Take your hands and interlace them behind the tailbone, point the toes, squeeze the big toes together, and then pull the fingertips and palms back towards your ankles. So you're drawing your palms towards each other, up towards the sky, and back towards your heels. Crown of the head reaching forward. So try to avoid looking up towards the knee. Just adjust your neck so it's in line with your spine, and release down. Push back, step forward with the opposite foot. And we're gonna do that back bend, chest opener again. So you're gonna inhale, stretch your hands high to the sky, really reach through your fingertips. And then again, you're gonna imagine you've got that big rubber band. You're pulling back and down, opening up the chest. So our chest and shoulders are not only strong, but they're flexible and open as well. So we don't wanna round the posture. Lots of push-ups will tend to round the posture over time. So we want to keep that flexibility, that range of motion. Go ahead and shift forward, hands on either side of your front foot, curl your back toes under, squeeze your back knee straight, step to plank. And we're going to do one more chest opener, so go ahead and load down. You're going to reach back this time, grab the tops of one, if you can, both feet. Okay, so you can do one foot at a time if it's better for you. But if you can grow up onto both feet, go ahead and do that. You're gonna kick the tops of your feet into your hands, stretch your toes up to the sky, open the whole front of your body. And remember, try not to look at me the whole time, so back of the neck is long, in line with the thoracic middle spine. One more breath, and release. Hands under the shoulders, big push back, rest in child's pose for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come all the way back up to sitting. So good job. That was, probably 10 minutes, right? About. I can't see the timer right now, so I'm just guessing. Go with the vibe, right? It's about 10 minutes. The idea is sometimes less is more. It's the consistency, as I always say, that is key. If you want to strengthen your arms, have good posture over time, that's ultimately what we're working for in yoga. It's just good posture and good breathing. So consistency is the key, and I always, as I said, this is a request from a client of mine, and this is something that hopefully she'll be practicing on the beach this summer. And I always take requests, so send it my way, Karen@flexiblewarrior.com. Thank you so much. If you need some diet tips and things like that, anti-inflammatory superfoods, you can check out my book at Find Your Flexible Warrior, and it's on Amazon or on my website. Thanks again. Namaste.